What is up, everybody? It is Trevor back with your Week 2 Packers Scout Team analysis. Last week was rough for the Packers, I won't lie. A lot of people started Aaron Jones. I recommend starting Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Turns out they were the best plays for the Packers, even though they didn't do well. Obviously, I believe A.J. Dillon had the most points out of any Packer last week. And he, I believe, only had like 15 at most. It wasn't a great week all around. Aaron Rodgers had a horrible week. He was one of the worst quarterbacks in fantasy. Aaron Jones only saw like 8 touches. AJ got a lot of work in the receiving game, but other than that, it's just nothing. Christian Watson had a dropped 75-yard touchdown pass on the first play of the game. Allen Lazard didn't play. Romeo Doubs didn't do much. I mean, Tonyan got a couple catches. There really wasn't a lot of stars. Mason Crosby put up an extra points, 1. There just wasn't a lot going on for the Packers. They got absolutely blown out by the Vikings. The only thing I see happening different this week, they're not going to get blown out. They went undefeated at home last year. The Bears have not won in Green Bay since 2015. Okay? So I'm not saying they're going to guarantee a win, but Aaron Rodgers historically plays great against the NFC North, historically plays great at home, and historically plays great against the Bears. Everything's lined up for a good game from Aaron Rodgers. He usually does good. We'll see how the offense does. I start him again until he has another bad week. If he has another bad week, that's when I consider benching him. The Bears' secondary is You can't really take away a lot from the Bears game last week at all. The game was a monsoon. You can't really say, hey, their corners did this. Hey, their linebackers did this. That game, you can't take anything. They had bottled up Trey Lance. They bottled up the run game. They bottled up everybody. But I really can't take any fantasy analysis out of that game. So it's hard to say, looking at the Packers matchup versus the Bears. All I can do is give you the Packers information. Allen Lazard returned to practice today. Practice day. He didn't return. He returned yesterday. The day I'm recording this is Thursday night. If I had to guess, I'd say he's questionable, more likely to play than last week. David Bakhtiari practiced in a limited fashion. I don't expect him to play. Elgton Jenkins, the other tackle, he also practiced today. I don't expect him to play as well. I do expect Lazard to return, though. So maybe the run game takes a bit of a hit because without your 2 tackles, although Matt LaFleur did comment after the game that 28 and 33, A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, need to see the ball more and that they're 2 of the best players on the Packers offense. So with that being said, I'd say confidently start Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon again this week. Like I said earlier, Aaron Rodgers, I would start. We'll see how he does. If he has another bad week, that's when I'd start to be concerned. Allen Lazard, I've gotten a lot of questions on. If you're in a pickle and you really need a receiver or flex, and Allen Lazard was a guy you were high on and drafted early, I understand the thought behind it and wanting to start him. Go right ahead. He might have a good week if he plays. He might not. We really don't know. One other guy I think you could get away with starting, Christian Watson. He had the most snaps besides Sammy Watkins for a wide receiver, and that was after he dropped an opening bomb from Aaron Rodgers on a 75-yard touchdown. And if anybody knows Aaron Rodgers, once you make a drop or make a bad play, he doesn't go back to you. And he proved he went back to Watson. Watson stayed out there for over 80% of the plays. He's been a guy that's consistent on that offense since day one now. So that's something to watch out for. And he has shown his big playability. Like I said, a 75-yard would have been touchdown. That's a lot of fantasy points right there. So overall, start A.J. Dillon, start Aaron Jones with confidence. Aaron Rodgers, if he's your only quarterback, we'll see. Start him. He does good against the Bears and good at home. And then I also don't mind starting Allen Lazard and Christian Watson. As for Tonyan's not going to see a ton of volume. I mean, if you're running a tight end premium league or something, I don't mind starting Tonyan. I wouldn't recommend it. Doubs, I wouldn't recommend starting unless you're desperate. And then everybody else on the Packers roster, I would not recommend starting. Mason Crosby, I take it back. Mason Crosby, maybe. Packers defense, I don't mind against the Bears this week. And that has been your Packers Week 2 analysis. Hopefully the Packers get a dub this week, but more importantly, hopefully you guys get a dub this week. Have a great week. Good luck in your matchups. I'll see you guys next week for the matchup against Tampa. Go Pack, go.